many. So again, I know I've made this point before, but why do we have 4 players on a bench and only use 2 of them, and then begrudgingly put a third one on for 10 minutes, if that? Who actually I thought was pretty decent in Connor Wynn. I also thought, I'm not sure where half of our players were because we hadn't heard, about Lane being out or various other people. I think Bowden is a waste of a shirt, definitely at the moment. I thought that the Carlos disallowed try was probably just about the right call.
I couldn't remember when it happened in the game to watch it back, and it isn't on the highlights. But live, I wasn't thinking that's a bad call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was surprised he simply disallowed it without going to the video ref there. But I think it probably was the right call. The Connor pass back, I think we were robbed.
I think it landed in front of where he touched it. I think that one was a knock on. I'd be more sort of feeling potentially aggrieved about was it Satai or Sau who had the one where they just looked like they might have just got it down just before the dead ball line, but
Sau, yeah.
I suppose it was difficult to see and change the on-field decision. It always is on those ones where there's a lot of players around the ball and can you get a clear angle, but that one to me felt like he got it down, whereas the Connor one, I felt like it landed in front of where he touched it.
Yeah, well, you see, it's for me, and this is possibly a rule issue rather than, it may be the correct application of the rules, but his hand was pointing backwards when he passed it back, tapped it back, and if that had landed straight in the player's hands, then that wouldn't have gone to the big screen because it'd have been a pass.
Yeah,
you can't check on passes.
Yeah, completely.
That's the infuriating thing.
Yeah, completely get that point of view, definitely.
But all in all, we didn't. We didn't ever get. I think we needed to get 12 points ahead and then think about the drop goal when the pressure isn't on. And we just couldn't ever get to 12 points ahead.
I've got a bit of a, when it got to level as well, I've got a bit of a kind of, Hull's setting up for drop goals was appalling in this game. Yeah. It was absolutely appalling. Leeds' attempts at drop goals were appalling, but they actually got themselves into positions quite well. But the attempts
But they had so much positionally on the park. We just couldn't ever. I think the closest we got was 50 meters out, wasn't it?
Well, this is the thing. I think there was a couple of occasions where you'd got closer, and then Sneed called for one more set-up carry, but it didn't seem like anyone wanted to take that carry, or players were getting in each other's ways or something, and you ended up shifting it wide and going backwards, and then him having a harder drop goal. And that happened, the one just before the end of the game, that happened on. Then there was the one even closer to the end of the game where you ended up shifting out wide, and to be fair, Tumavarvi and Framo nearly made something happen. Because Tumavarvi was pretty good, I thought. I always like watching him play, though. I think he's a really good player. Then there was the one which the League Express have missed this one from their rundown of what happened, but there was the one just before the end of the first period of extra time, which was the worst one for me, because you definitely had the ball. The play of the ball was on the 40-metre line. And all you needed was one more run up from one of your forwards who'd done a lot of running up the middle without, done a lot of hard work up the middle, but you just needed one more from them. Surely they knew which direction to go because they've been doing it all game and not shifting the ball out wide. And they just didn't get it right. And then it all ended up in a mix-up, and then Sneed had to try and kick it on the back foot from about 45 metres when it should have been on the front foot from about 35 to 40 metres, and the setting up from Hull FC was appalling for the drop goal attempts, I thought. I think the only thing that was worse for Hull FC was the left edge defence.
Yes. I think where we were a forward light. If we really needed another prop on the bench, I think that'd have made a big difference on Saturday, because we were rotating through 3 props really.
Yeah, and I don't know what was up with Lane, but you didn't have anyone else, do you? That's the issue, and it's kind of like brings into question the decision to let what's his chops go out to Bradford on loan.
Massi
Matongo. Yeah.
Yeah, although I don't think he's good enough.
No. But the start of the game, like the whole defence seemed, I don't know, hungover or something. But the way they let Martin score with 5 tacklers around him, then Newman did something similar for his try, not that much later after, and that set a bad tone, I thought.
To be honest, I was really, really worried when we were 8-0 down and we'd barely touched the ball within 5 minutes.
Yeah. But then you got the try, which was a bit of a bounce of the ball situation. I wish Wigan were watching and realised the ball didn't bounce normal on that pitch. But there you go. But I think the main threat for Hull was from kicks, wasn't it?
But that's the story of our life at the moment.
Yeah, Connor, I
did think when it came to extra time, I thought Leeds might have been better trying to actually score a try against us.
Well, they very nearly did, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was a really good tackle by Shaw on Handley, and also covered off any options of any potential passes back inside. Just on the play before the hilarious Lehman drop goal attempt. He made up for it. He scored the winner, didn't he? But still, it was the first one was funny. Harry Newman, I always, every week I say when I watch him play, I think he was amazing. I thought he was awesome in this game. I think he scored a good try. He set up the pick of the tries, which was Lehman's try. I mean, really good hands in small spaces always impresses me, and Newman did that brilliantly to set up that try. I thought that was a good try. And also he was the player who charged down the kick, wasn't he? That then set up the field position for one of the other hilarious misses that Leeds had. I think he set up the one off the crossbar, didn't he, from Reece Martin? But yeah, I thought Harry Newman was outstanding. I was surprised that Dwyer got man of the match, because I didn't notice him really being that amazing. I thought Broadbent and Myler actually swapped between fullback and halfback on defence and attack really fluidly, and there wasn't an issue there. Sometimes looks a bit awkward. It didn't. I was pleased that Rob Louis got injured, and I thought, Newman was outstanding.
Yeah, I think having Dwyer on just gives you that little bit more injection of pace and everything.
And it meant him getting man of the match meant it kind of helped one of the better stories of the weekend that came kind of away from Magic Weekend in a way, that he'd been at his brother's wedding in the morning, gone to the game, played the game, won man of the match, won the game, then gone back to his brother's wedding at like 1 o'clock at night with the medal. Okie dokes. Is there anything else from you on your game there?
No.
I'm still laughing about Lehman's first drop goal attempt. Shall we move on to Sunday then?
Yep, so Sunday it started off with Huddersfield against Wakefield, and it finished Wakefield 32, Huddersfield 18, after being 14-6 to Wakefield at half-time. It was refereed by Ben Thaler. In terms of the teams, more metres and more breaks for Wakefield in a 5-3 win. Individually, Joe Westerman with 181 metres, Riesling with 1 try, 156 metres, and Joe Arundel rounds off the X-Hull hat-trick with 141 metres. And then Lee Kershaw also got in on the act with 134 metres. For the losing Huddersfield, Ollie Ashelbot with 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts, and 188 metres and 2 clean breaks. Leroy Kudger with 149 metres. Nathan Peets with 54 tackles, and Ricky Luitelli with 117 metres. From the disciplinary, Sam Hewitt got a grade B forearm from ball carrier, which was a 1-match penalty notice.
Yeah, weird name on that charge. I just thought it would have been a grade B striking charge. But he seemed determined to get himself sin-binned in this match. He started a few fights, didn't he?
Around the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it was that, it was the ball carrying arm, wasn't it, that was raised?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he definitely. That describes it well. I've just never seen that description before. Yeah, I didn't know he was a nasty player, but he wanted to be in this match. Fanviews, Pop the Viking said, a good game to start day 2. A well-deserved win for Wakefield. Thought the referee got the sin bin correct. Result could have been different if the first try of the second half had been sent upstairs to the video referee. Yeah, that was the Kalepi Tanganoa try. I agree. Have you watched that one back? He kind of got punched out of his right arm, and then he put it down with his left arm. Whether or not you'd say he regained control enough to be in control of the ball when he put it down with his left arm, I'm not sure. But
Yeah, EFC 78JU said Wakey deserved the win after coming from behind to beat Huddersfield Giants at St James's Park by 18 points to 32 to secure 9th place, and it will not be enough to qualify for the playoffs since coming from the bottom 2 after second Chester. They've survived just about with 2 games to go. That was some play from both teams today.
I'd say they've survived comfortably. Joshua's granddad said, could Sunday live up to Saturday's excitement? Well, this one didn't get the pulses beating. Trin just too organised with Miller and Lino pulling the strings. We did get a late one in from Mike Dodd, at Mike Dodd 22, said, Wasps in the Gallagate end didn't make this the easiest to watch, but it was actually quite an entertaining contest between two sides with little to play for. Decent Wakefield fan following were rewarded early on with another trademark Tom Johnston finish, soon to be followed by a trademark trip to the sideline with an injury. I'd not read that. That's exactly the point I was going to make.
Yeah. The Tom Johnston doing what Tom Johnston does best, scoring tries and getting injured.
Yeah.
Is that the last one that you've had in? Sorry.
Yes, that's it on these ones, yep.
Yeah, no, I thought it was an enjoyable match. Some nice rugby played, but nothing massively stand out about it. Yeah, Tom Johnston's try was a nice one. When they went to the video referee, you always felt that he was probably safe because he's Tom Johnston doing what Tom Johnston does.
And actually, the defender did quite a good job of stripping his right hand away from the ball, but Johnston's so good at his finishing that he just kept control of it with his left and sort of reached it away from where the defender was coming across and still got it down in the field of play. It is a classy finisher. It's just a shame that he can't stay on the pitch.
I know. Yeah, he is one of those players, and you just, you do feel for him, don't you? Because he is such a good player.
I feel for us because we don't get to see him as much as we want to see him.
Yeah, true.
Oh dear. Yeah, there was 40 minutes in the middle of this game where it felt like nothing was really happening. I was a bit disappointed because I was wanting this game to be a, 36-30 kind of game, and it started like it could have been, and then I think Wakefield kind of just controlled it really well. Lino was impressive, and what's Tanganoa and Fafita, they clearly like playing for Willie Poaching.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I thought, they just seemed well organised, well drilled, and it's always nice to see Huddersfield get beat. So all in all, we enjoyed it.
Although the Will Price try that started it off was really good.